Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, good morning, depending on in which country are you. I'm in Spain, Europe, so I guess you realize that it's pretty much close to being night here already. Everything is dark. Let me know where are you from, where are you watching the show from, in which country do you live. And before we begin, let me just answer the question whether I'm going to Vaikansé. I am going to Vaikansé in a few hours, so basically after the show I'm gonna take my suitcase and hop on the next airplane to Amsterdam, and from there I'm gonna go to Vaikansé to see the Tata Steel chess tournament. And I'm not the only one who will be there, so Sopiko and myself will be at the Tata Steel chess tournament this weekend. I will be there from tomorrow and she's coming on Sunday. Come and say hi to us and we can take a picture together. You can just simply let us know about your chess journey and whether you are getting closer to your chess goals. Do you remember my January challenge? I hope you do, and I hope that you are getting to it. If you don't remember what it was, check my social media. It's basically on my Facebook page as well, and on my YouTube channel, the video, what is the January challenge for this new year. And you can let me know in person if you see me in Vaikansé how you are doing with the challenge. So, without further ado, let's just say hi to everyone on the Chess24 chat. Today I'm going to play as many games as possible. You know that every week I switch between teaching and playing a lot. So this week I believe it's gonna be about many games and not so much teaching. You guys asked for it, so sometimes it's a session about teaching and other times it is still slightly about teaching because I cannot help it. But today I will play as many games as possible and don't do much post-mortem analysis. Who's gonna be my first opponent? Let me see. Oh, thank you, Josie Greens. Thank you. It was so much fun with Ginger GM. First time that I was commentating with him. Challenges. 5 minutes, preferably. Rated or unrated, up to you. And premium members always get priority. So let me see who are the first people challenging me. By the way, if you are new here, we are on chess24.com. Let me show you the website. I hope you can see now. You just type in chess24.com and then you click on play, or simply you go to, let me show you real quick. You see this gentleman there, Jan Gustafsson. Well, don't click on him, but click here. Banter Blitz with Anna 3 minutes ago. You click there and that will open the video. Let's stop it. Here you can chat with the others and talk to me. And if you click on my name, that's where you can challenge me. Just click on Anna Rudolf, challenge me for a 5-minute blitz game. And then I'm gonna accept the first challenge right now. So, who's gonna be my first opponent? Challenges. I have 18 challenges. I'm gonna try to mix it up and I will try to play someone I haven't played yet. Anna 2004. Wow, I love your handle. And I think this is the first time I'm playing someone online who is also Anna. First of all, I love the fact that you are also a fellow female player. There are a few of us out there, so I always appreciate when I can play against another lady. And I like your name. Yeah, maybe that's a bit egoistic, but I do like my name, and I like her name as well. Anna 2004. I guess that means that you were born in 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if you were born in 2004, it means that you are a lot younger than I am. I'm just going for a setup. This is basically, oh, I should already be careful because knight d6 is a very unpleasant threat. I was not very careful in this game. I was just going for a solid setup, but now I need to prevent knight d6. And if I play d6, she can take on d4. She can take on c5, I'm sorry, with the d4 pawn. Anna, you are causing me trouble. I think I should go, first of all, knight to e4, controlling the d6 square and placing my knight on a nice place. After bishop d3, I think it's still okay. I mean, if she will have to give up her bishop on e4 and then play knight d6, then we both swap bishops. What I don't want is that she will play knight d6 in the future. I will have to take it with my f8 bishop, and then her bishop appears on d6, cutting my king from castling. So that is disaster. That is what I need to prevent. That's what I try to prevent. And I think now simply pushing d5, supporting my knight and also attacking the c4 knight. So now the d6 square is covered, my knight is supported, and yeah, now I should be careful about bishop b5 check because that is a threat. And therefore, I think I will go c4. It isn't really how I was going to play, like this is not my dream position. Now knight g5, am I lost already after knight g5? Jeez, Anna, you're crushing me. What I'm supposed to do here? You're gonna take on f7. Jeez, this is horrible. I did not warm up. I certainly didn't warm up. f6, queen h5 check. Ugh, I think I'm lost. I think I'm lost in this position, but I'm gonna fight. You need to fight. You need to fight. I'm supposed to fight here. Not even easy to like create some kind of a counter chance. Okay, I'm gonna play f6, and if queen h5, I will play g6. After f6, I think there are many good moves. Queen h5 check or knight to f7, knight takes e6. Like, every move should be good here for white. I played so carelessly this opening that my position after 10 moves is completely a disaster. Anna, you need to warm up. I mean, Anna 2004, you're playing amazingly well. And yeah, this is what I was expecting. So now she's gonna take my rook, and then I will take on g5. And if she takes on g6 instead, then I'm aiming to escape with my king. Aiming. What a bad opening from me. I was trying to be creative and look what I did. Knight e5, knight g5. Yeah, c4 was a blunder. A pretty big blunder. I saw bishop b5 check as a threat, but I didn't realize that bishop takes e4, knight g5 was another threat. So kudos to my opponent. She's playing very well. I think she's still winning here, but she should calculate. And at least we are even on the clock. That's the only thing. At least we both have 3 minutes. I'm gonna see the chat. Hello to everyone here in the chat. I see that you guys are from many countries. I'm gonna read it now after trying to survive against Anna. If king e7, queen f7 is mate, so I have to go to d7. And let's see how does she want to give me mate. I mean, I don't think there's mate, but she should win back material with knight f7. Or queen f7 check, but then I can play queen e7. So I think she should go for knight f7. But in that position, yeah, no, it still should be very bad for me. Any tricks for me? Actually, I do have tricks. Wait a second. Rook g8, and if she takes it, bishop b4 check wins the queen. And after rook g8, if she takes my queen, I'm gonna take her queen and we trade pieces. Yeah, I think that's a tricky one. But rook g8, queen h7, then rook g7. Okay. When you are lost, you should be trying to create tactical opportunities. So now I play rook g8 because if she takes it, I give a check on b4 and win the queen. So both queens are hanging now. If knight takes d8, I'm gonna take her queen. If she plays queen h7, I think that should be a good move. Then I should play rook g7, I believe. Because if I move my queen, then she will take my rook. If I go like, let's say queen e8, still threatening the bishop b4 check idea. Oh, queen h5. I don't think that was the most dangerous for me. Now I can play queen to e8 and nothing is hanging. And I think you must have had... yeah, I see you're talking to me now. And yeah, this was... You were very close to just crushing me. But from here on, I think I'm doing okay. I'm a piece up. And my king is alive. So yeah, rook g8 I think was a was an interesting resource. It was still not objectively a very good position for me, but you see, if you make it complicated, even in a worse position, just mess around, make it complicated, look for tactical motives, and that will give you chances, because your opponent will have to find always the best, and the very best moves. It's not easy to always play the best moves. She's right trying to open the d5, but I can take, for instance, with the pawn, and if queen f5 check, I will play queen to e6, covering up my king. Castle, so yeah, I'm still suffering here in the middle of the board. Does she want to take on d5? Like if I play knight a6, rook takes d5, or it's too much? Is that a threat? I need to evaluate if after knight a6, trying to develop my pieces, rook takes d5, bishop takes, queen takes. Oh, king c8. Am I getting mated there? Jeez. Queen takes c4, then I play... Goodness me. This is not easy. Still not easy. Oh, she has offered me a draw. Well, you know what, Anna? I think I'm already out of danger. But I appreciate that you were playing so creative and so well, and I will accept the draw. So I believe in this position black is already better. Should be winning after good defense. But I think you deserve a draw, because you were probably... No, not probably. I'm sure that you were winning at the beginning. So, Anna, if you're listening to me, congratulations. You've been crushing me. In the final position, I believe black is already okay. Maybe I should go king c8 to hide my king, and then I should play knight d7 next move. Yeah, my pieces are still... Oh, wait, no. King c8 is a blunder. Knight d6 check. Ooh, that's bad. You see, I would lose my queen. It was very dangerous. And I was thinking knight a6, rook takes d5, bishop takes... I told you guys I wouldn't analyze that much, but look at this position. Maybe... What was the best move here? I'm quite sure that it's not lost for me. Probably queen e6 then. Queen e6, defending on d5, preventing the check on f5, and next move develop the knight. So I think here black is already out of danger. Thank you for the game. Danke. Vielen Danke. And here, probably here, this was the right moment. I just can't help not analyzing, right? Wow. If queen takes h8, I'll take it on g5, but still, this is looking dangerous. Maybe this was the best, and then just moving the bishop away. Bishop e5. I have two pieces, but my king is in the middle of the board, and takes ages to develop. So, and also after f6, maybe queen h5 is the most tempting, but also it was just possible to play knight f7. I need to move my queen, not that I have many squares, and you take here, I take here. It was very complex, but I'm pretty sure that you were winning. Anna, 2004, thank you so much for the game. You played so well, so creative. This knight c4, knight e5, knight g5. I completely missed knight g5, bishop takes c4, knight g5. So, well done. You really deserve a point, and that's why I wanted to accept the draw in the end of the game. Next challenge. Who is up for the next challenge? Next challenge, I'm gonna see the chat. Thank you for telling me the countries where you're from. I see that there are so many different continents covered in today's show. I love that. I love that. And yeah, very good game. Very good game. From Anna. The other Anna. By my standards, it was a very bad game from my side, but it's because Anna was playing in a very creative way. So she achieved this. It's her achievement that I was getting into so much trouble. And today I'm gonna play every game with the black pieces. Is that really true? Hi, Kiriko. Nice to see you. Where are you from? I don't see your flag. Where are you from? You don't have a flag. I don't know where you're from. The French defense? Yeah, the French. Okay, the advanced variation, and I'm not supposed to be analyzing as much as I normally do. I'll try not to. Against the advanced variation, there are plenty of variations you can play. For instance, this one. You want to place the knight on f5. You can go via the h6 square or the e7 square. I can't help not explaining, right? I think someone would need to put a tape on my mouth, and then that would be the only way to stop me from analyzing. Okay, in the bishop d3 line, you can take here and then knight f5. So if white takes, e takes f5, and I have this nice square on e6 for my bishop. It's a funny pawn structure, the d5 pawn isolated, and I have doubled pawns on the f file, but actually it's very solid. Look at this, the bishop is like a huge pawn, but actually, since it's the bad bishop of black, it's not too bad. And later, okay, he wants to play b4. Shall I prevent it or not? I will not prevent it. I'm a brave girl. Maybe I should have prevented it, but I decided not to. So later, I have some chances also of pushing my pawns on the king side. Like, I will show you. If I have the chance, I will show you. Not right now, of course. Now it doesn't make any sense. I think I will just develop my pieces. Queen d7, if b5, knight a5, and I'm heading toward the c4 square. That would be a lovely outpost. Knight to c4. Are you guys enjoying the Tata Steel Chess Tournament? Are you following it every day? Let me know, because I'm going there tomorrow. I can't wait to be there and see my best friend, Sopiko. She's going. I'm going. We're gonna meet in Vaikanse. And of course, I'm excited about the tournament as well, but seeing your best friend is just the best thing you can do in your life. I mean, the people you care about, your loved ones. b6, preventing knight c5, because I didn't want to take it with my bishop. I want to keep my pair of bishops. And what I was talking about that at some point, since I have doubled pawns on the f file, an idea is h6, g5, f4, expanding on the king side. I think I will go for it. I can also play g5 immediately, but why not prepare it? I mean, I'm not in that much rush, am I? And now I don't want to give up the c file, so step by step, I can play on both flanks. This I don't understand it. Oh, okay. He wants to play b5, and if knight a5 he wants to take it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of that, because b5 will weaken the a3 pawn. So I think it's okay for me to allow b5. Actually, I want him to play b5. Where's the knight going? d3. Anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. With those doubled pawns and the bishop on e6, you can do this. g5, f4. This is not what I normally do with my pawns in front of the king, but in this variation, you can do it because of the doubled pawns. And now, you see I have more space for my bishops. Do I want to go g4? Not yet. I think I'm gonna be just improving my pieces. Bishop to f5, later maybe coming with the queen, or bishop e4 at some point. g4 just later, when it actually makes sense. I can move the king away from the g file, bring the rook to the g file. Plenty of opportunities here for maneuvering with my pieces on the king side, preparing for an attack. Attack. What am I doing? What am I doing? Trying to attack? Yeah. Kiriko, I would like to know where you're from. I always like to know where my opponents and where my dear followers are from. Where's this knight going? He wants to play f3 or just play queen h5? I'm gonna be doing my queen maneuver. Now I'm heading toward the g6 square with my queen. The d5 pawn is of course still isolated and weak, but right now the position is not about that. Oh, g3. That's actually smart, because you want to break my pawn chain, and if I take on g3, you want to open the f file. If bishop h3, I guess you want to play knight g2. So what if bishop g4, do you want to play f3? Let's see. Because that would weaken your king. And then you won't be able to take on g3 with the f pawn. Probably still f3 is the best, because if you move the queen, then I can... Oh, he doesn't want to. So I was saying that if you move the queen, I can play f3 or bishop h3 and then f3. Yeah, I'm winning material here already. I like both moves. I mean, I'm not even sure I want to take this. Just f3 next move. Or maybe f3 immediately was the best. f3, and I win a piece now. Or the rook on f1. So I think after bishop g4 it was a must to play f3 as white, to prevent me from pushing f3. Now, I would like to give mate on g2, of course, but it's not that simple. The e3 knight is there. Oh, he's trying to escape. I thought he would play king g1 because the e3 knight was still preventing mate on g2. But he wants to escape. That means I'm gonna grab some pawns. b5, I will play knight a5 because if he takes, at least then I have rook takes c1 and queen g1 check as well coming later. So I just want to trade this rook on the c file, and I will be the only one that has a rook. Remember that when you have an exchange up, you do want to trade one pair of rooks. What's the best move here? Check, king d2. Does it help? Do I want to give the check or not? Probably not immediately. Let's go here. Just trying to see if there's any trick. Knight f6 check probably, but then I take and queen e6 check, winning the f6 pawn. So there was no trick. I just need to be careful about my time. I think that's the only thing. Knight c4, just improving this knight from a5. You don't want to have your pieces on the edge of the board. It was a temporary place, the a5 square. On c4 is beautiful. And if he takes, I can take with the rook. Or also with the pawn, but I think I'm going to take with the rook and just double rooks on the c file. That should do the job. Now let's just take this pawn. Let's be greedy. I have an exchange and two pawns. All I need to do is develop the f8 rook as well. So ideally, I would double rooks on the c file. But now he wants to take my bishop and have at least those two pieces. I don't want to allow that. Let's come back. And if queen takes, I guess now he will play queen takes a7. Perhaps I could have played just rook c7 before and no complications at all. Because now, if queen takes, oh, he doesn't want to take. Anyway, if he doesn't take, then I am gonna just swap this rook, this bishop, sorry. And okay, the knight is heading towards the c6 square, so he wants. And the pawn is hanging. Maybe it's time to come back with my queen. This is a bit passive, isn't it? Let's come here. Let's not be that passive, Anna. And knight takes d5, threatening knight e7, but I want to play queen d3 to threaten mate on e2. I don't have time. I don't have time, so I should hurry up. Yeah, I should hurry up. This was my plan, and I'm hoping that it works. Of course, it's not forced. He can defend by playing rook to a2 or queen to a2 or queen to d1. So maybe this wasn't the best plan in the world, but I'm running out of time. Oh, but this is now mate in 1. Rook d1 doesn't prevent it. It's not the d2 square, it was the e2 square. Kiriko, thank you for the game. I think black was winning already after winning material, but being short on time, if you defend against the mate, like let's say in this position, queen to a2, for instance, then I still need to just play very quick and good. So after queen to a2, I should deal with the threat of knight e7 check. Probably the easiest is to move this rook or the king. Maybe the best is to move the king immediately, king to g7 for instance. Then bring the rook to e8, the f rook to e8 and such. So black is winning, but still it's a blitz game. And the point where it was decided, this is a typical pawn push on the king side that I was doing. Here after bishop g4, I think white had to play f3. You cannot allow me pushing f3 because without the bishop on g2, your king is just too weak. here in this position. I was even considering not winning the exchange, just f3 and then bishop h3, and ideally I want to have the queen on h3. But anyway, today is not about analyzing too much, so let's go for the next challenge. I'm gonna have a look at the chat. Challenges. Seriously, today I'm gonna play every game with the black pieces. Hi, BigBorg 2015. Let's do the same as against Anna. Okay, no, I think I won't because I was, and this is not the same opening, by the way. So now this is going to be the Nimso Indian defense. A3 immediately. Interesting. I mean, I know it exists, but it's not among the main lines because sometimes you don't even want to waste a tempo on me taking on c3. f3 would be interesting, trying to push e4 immediately, because I want to be controlling the e4 square, but maybe that was a bit too much, too many pawn moves, and I could have played d5. This is just a nice setup for white. I think he's doing fine. Fianchettoing his bishop. And what I want to do as black is to push c5, and I wish white takes on c5. But of course chess is not about wishing, but about good moves. So now I need a plan. Of course he doesn't want to take, and I will not take on d4. I need to attack the c4 pawn. That's his weakness, the doubled pawns. Knight c6, d5, knight a5. I think that's good for me. So I'm gonna play knight c6. I want to head to a5 and then bishop to a6 as well. Just attacking this c4 pawn because that's his weakness. Later I can also bring my rook to c8 and then take on d4 when I'm winning the c4 pawn. I would only take on d4 if I win the pawn. Never ever in another scenario. Oh, where's he going? Wants to play f4, I'm guessing. But I mean, we will trade bishops and then I will take the pawn, so I'm just gonna take the c4 pawn. I like it. I like when I get free pawns. The bishop is very bad. Look at this bishop on c1. Because of the pawn chain, all the pawns on dark squares, that's a very bad bishop on c1. And I have a beautiful knight on c4. So it's not just the pawn, but the knight outpost that I gained. Let's see the chat. I'm reading when I can. f3, aiming for e4 because I can't take it. The knight would be hanging on c4. How shall I react to this in the best way? Probably I'm just gonna come back. It looks a bit passive, but I want to control the e4 push because that would allow the development of this bishop. So I really wanna prevent him from pushing e4. And I will just line up my pieces on the c file and then maybe take on d4, maybe, or push c4, depends on the position. So I'm still playing against this c1 bishop. Now he wants to play bishop a3, so that's a good idea. Let's place this rook here, and the other rook might come to b8 if he wants to later on push a5. Bishop a3. Now if I take on d4, he will have to take back with the c pawn. No, not true actually, because the d6 knight would be hanging. Now that he has developed his bishop, I will come back to c4 because now it doesn't bother me that much that he can push e4. And without the bishop on c1, I can be sometimes threatening knight to d2, attacking the queen and the pawn. There's queen d1, so it's not like I achieve a lot. He's coming back. Well, that shouldn't be very good. Now he wants to push e4. He wants to push e4. He wants me to repeat moves, which I want. I will play knight a5, which looks like a silly place for the knight, but I can push later c4 if I want to. Oh, but with the queen on c2? No, queen c2 was a mistake, because now I can take on d4. He cannot take back with the c pawn, and I'm winning the c3 pawn. So I was thinking he would go somewhere else with the queen, and then I would push c4 knight, and then knight to b3. I'm just gonna take your pawns. Well, shall I be that greedy, give up the c file? Maybe not. Anna, stop being that greedy. The d4 pawn is weak, the f3 pawn is weak, and the a4 pawn is weak, so I will just keep the c5 for myself. If I had taken on f3, which would have been good, I think, for winning material, but rook c1, I thought, is the last chance for white to activate his pieces, so that could compensate for the material loss. And now my pieces are active, and I'm still taking this pawn. He could have defended it, but then I would have attacked the d4 pawn and then the a4 pawn. So there was no good way to defend against all this. The pawns would have dropped, and the c file is mine. So there's no counterplay for white. 2 minutes left for me. Anna is happy. Anna should still win this. But Anna is greedy. Anna will go for the other pawns as well. Greedy, greedy, greedy. Connected pass pawns. A and B pawn. Airy and Berry, as I learned from Simon yesterday. Or the Anna and B was... What was B as a female name? Because now we have female names for the pawns as well. I can't remember. If somebody remembers, please tell me in the chat. Hello everyone, I'm reading the chat. You should know that I'm checking what you guys are saying. Okay. It's always good to have your rook on the second rank. I'm sure you know it. And it's even better to have 2 rooks on the second rank. So I can play, for instance, rook a2 now. And I should speed up. That's the only thing, that I have less time. So I have like 3 pawns up and double rooks on the second rank. Now I will just activate my knight as well and start pushing the B and A pawns, or just the B, depending on what he plays. This is a very passive position for white. I'll just give a check and come to e4 because I like it. Can I win material? No, not really. Maybe this was like not needed, but I thought, why not? Now, for instance, if rook b1, I'm winning with knight d2 check, so he has to be careful about that knight on e4. Otherwise, I just want to push b4, b3. Hey, almost a mouse slip. I almost didn't take the rook. That was close. Oh, my pawn! Doesn't matter. The b pawn wins. Barry is winning the game. And there's no back rank made because I have doubled pawns. Let's go. Knight d2 check. b1 or b1 and then knight d2 check was the threat. And now, for instance, I can play knight d2 or rook takes. Oh, I should hurry up. But I was thinking, I think rook takes e2 was more beautiful, and then knight c3 check and b1. And I have king d3. Yeah, now he has king d3. I misplayed it. I saw that I had rook takes e2 and knight c3 check, but then I didn't play it. He still resigns. Well, thank you, BigBorg 2015. I thought that you still had king d3. Because if I go b1, you will take it. So yeah, I didn't play this well, because now I'm not winning the piece. That's still an endgame that should be winning, but here I was calculating this move and I think this was the easiest, and whether knight c3 first or b1 queen, this was the most beautiful. I don't really know why I didn't play it, since I calculated it, but then I didn't play it. I guess I thought it was the same. But make sure that you always play the most forcing order. So here it was my bad that I saw this variation, but I decided it's the same to play knight d2 immediately, and I'm threatening b1. It's not the same because king d3, and I don't have any more rook takes c2, nor I have a good square for my rook. So yeah, this was not that much winning, big boy. Here you still have chances and I don't have time. Knight d2, I guess it happens that you thought that everything was winning here for me, and certainly rook takes e2 would have finished the game, but if I didn't play it, then you should definitely still try to fight and find the best possible defense. Anyway, thank you for the game. I should not be analyzing too much because you guys want to play a lot of games today. Just let's try to recall the turning point. Oh, simply the pawn. I don't think you can just give it up like this. Knight h4. I know it's not easy to defend it, so maybe here it's already problematic. Knight d2. It's not looking good. I think here it's already problematic. Because after knight d2, let's say capture, and I will still put a lot of pressure on that pawn, like queen c7, then rook c8, then take on d4 in the moment I can take on c4 next move. So here I like my position a lot already. I'm not sure where was what was wrong. I thought you were doing okay before. I'll need to look into that as well. I don't normally play this neither with white nor with black, but today is a good day to experiment. Let's see who are challenging me today. Oh, I don't know if I clicked on the name I was looking at. Oh, mouse slip. Anyway, nice to see you, Michi Cialoni. But I was... Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought... Yeah, I did click on your name. Yeah, I saw the premium symbol and then I thought I clicked on a non-premium member. Today I'm playing d4 e6 in every game, and in case you want to go for the French, I mean, you can play e4 and with transpose, but normally if you play d4 on first move, I'm not expecting that you want to transpose to the French. Shall we play another Nimso? We shall. Thematic tournament. Against queen c2, there are plenty of variations that I don't remember because I haven't played a Nimso for ages. But I will call so. I mean, there's d5 and also the other version with c5, I believe. I can't remember it because I can't. I think the last time I played a Nimso in a competition was probably about 7 years ago. No, maybe not that much, but it was a long ago. What's the right setup here? If knight a6, a3. Can't remember exactly. Because I don't think it's bishop takes c5 here. Now, those of you guys who know this variation better, you might be laughing that I don't remember a thing. Anyway, if you don't remember it, make sensible moves. It makes sense to take it. I'm pretty sure this is not the best move here, but it makes sense to take it. At some point I would have needed to take it. And I was just considering like moving the knight, but then a3, b4. So knight a3, at least I have time to consider whether I want to prevent b4 with a5. There Henker is saying that knight a6 is good here. That was ringing a bell. I mean, that I thought was the move to consider, but I wasn't sure. So thank you for confirming it. Knight a6, and if a3, why do I play there? I take on c5 and b4? How is the variation? Can you just confirm it? As I'm curious. I'm curious to know it. Now, knight e4 is a threat. But g5 looks like scary. Maybe that's why knight e6 is the move and not just this thing. I mean, knight e4, bishop e7 I still have, so probably I shouldn't panic. And knight e4 I can still give a check. Yeah, why I'm panicking? Just because there's a pin? Knight a6, a3. That was my concern. Bishop takes c5, b4. I don't remember the variation. I don't really want to allow b4, so let's prevent it. But he's preventing also check, so knight e4, bishop e7. I'm gonna play, or e4, d6. Looks like a decent move. This doesn't look like my normal variations, but it doesn't matter. Today is a day to be creative. I'm trying to be creative. There, Henker, I honestly have no clue. I hardly ever learn variations. I just take it move by move. Yeah, actually, you're right. Like, why to memorize it if later you don't remember? Like, you see, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember. I feel like bishop e7 is very passive, but at some point I would need to deal with this pin, I feel like. So I come back with the bishop, even if it's ugly. Because if I had played d6 first, I didn't have the opportunity to place the bishop on e7 later. So instead of bishop e7, d6, the knight e4 would have been a strong move, I think. And now, should I play d5 or d6? This is weird. Weird position for me, because it looks more like a Sicilian. I mean, it's not a Sicilian because the pawn is on e3, but I mean, in terms of black's pawn chain, I have the semi-open c file and this d6 pawn, and I don't play the Sicilian as black, so I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Oh, gonna fianchetto to the bishop to b7. I'm not sure that my position is good, because there's this b5 spot for the knight, attacking the d6 backward pawn, then rook d1 for white, looks like a nice move. So I think white should be better here, but I'm gonna be fighting. Bishop b7, rook c8, something along that line. Maybe I should have played instead of d6, d5, I was considering trading pawns on d5, but I thought that this was more complex. But more complex doesn't always mean that it's better for me. I can get into trouble by trying to complicate matters too much. Knight b5, I think, is a good move. Not that it's winning immediately, but putting pressure on the d6 pawn. Since the rook is on the d5, my queen on d8. I would need to find the spot for this queen. Queen c8 I don't like. Maybe I will have to play it anyway. Where can I place this queen? Or maybe I should trade the dark squared bishop. What does he want to do? Knight e4? Don't understand it completely, so I will play rook c8, maybe knight e5 was better. I'm gonna play knight e5 now. I don't understand exactly knight d2. Is that knight e4? Now you're playing a bit too passive. I'm gonna place the queen here. Next move I can go to c6, threaten mate on g2 if I want to, or queen to b8. I think you started to play a bit too passive. Michi from Poland. Nice to meet you, Michi. Queen c6? Why not? Knight to f3 or f3. That weakens the a7 g1 diagonal, but it's not that much of a big deal. I wish I could push d5, but the knight on e5 is hanging. And maybe next move he wants to play... no, not that. So, I think I should regroup my pieces. What about this move? I want to defend my knight on e5 and push d5. Now d5 could be a good move. Or f5 too. I also have f5. d5, f5. So many options. d5 takes. He has to move. He has to leave. He can't take on d5 because of the pin on the c file. So I like my chances a lot. I think knight f to d7 was good because I prepared the push to d5. I defended the knight on e5. And now I'm taking the initiative. Not that it's immediately winning, I guess. Because now, well, b5. Or takes on c4. Ooh, I should hurry up. Takes. Let's push b5 immediately. Just playing for the c5 pin, so he can't take on b5 because I'm gonna take it. I mean, if knight takes b5, queen takes b5. Just trying to win the pawn on c4. Well, not trying, I think I'm winning the pawn on c4. Okay, this I did not see. Actually, think I can take. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, maybe I'm wrong. F takes. Later I show you. I was calculating a variation, but now this is good for me, I believe. I can't really take on... Yeah, the problem is I couldn't take on c3 because later my d7 knight would have... Ah, I don't have time. Okay, Anna, stop talking so much. I dropped my pieces and I don't have time. This is bad news for Anna. Bad news. What? Not a bishop maneuver. I wants to win on time, and he did win on time. Oh, this was a very weird game. I don't know how I feel about this game. Michi, I think it was a very interesting game, but the end was very strange. First of all, here, not here. I started to run very low on time. That was my problem, because in this position I'm pretty sure I'm winning. I mean, I should be winning material. Maybe it was more accurate to take here first. And if you take, like, let's say this b5, perhaps this was the best way. But no, because I'm opening the d5, so no, this is not so clear actually. But what I played maybe wasn't that good, because after b5, f4, maybe this is a blunder from me, because if you take my knight, I was calculating taking on b3. So if you take with the queen, I'll take here. So I have won back the piece. But I forgot that after c takes b3, you also have knight takes b3. And now if queen takes, rook takes d7, and both of my bishops are hanging. I would have lost a piece. So this was... Actually, I was lucky here. I was lucky that you thought that my combination was good. It's not working because of knight takes b3, opening the d file. This d7 knight in the end got into trouble, so I think I should have taken first on c4. Maybe taking this way. Like, no, sorry. Here, yeah, I still believe maybe I should have taken. It was a very interesting game. In the end, it was a mess, and we were both low on time. Thank you for the game, Michi. I think you fought very well, because you caused trouble for me, especially in the time trouble, like keeping the pieces on the board, and then I blundered an exchange, and then I won it back, and it was just a mess. So, thanks for the game. It was certainly a very interesting one. So much thinking. Yeah, well, I wish I could. Queen g2 mate. Did I miss queen g2 mate? Seriously? Seriously? I missed queen g2? Okay, yeah, in these variations. I understand. But not in the game, right? Wait a second. I want to see if I didn't give mate. Takes. Okay. I didn't see. I took on c4 to take on b3 and win the knight on c3. You guys are right. That is not possible. Whoa, what a chess blindness from my part. Woo! Mating one. So Michi, that's why you didn't take my knight, not because of c takes b3. I took on c4. Yes, sometimes your intuition is better than what you actually realize. Like, consciously, I didn't see why this move was good, but I thought that it was the move somehow. I didn't see that I'm threatening mate on g2. Mating one and oh my. I think it shows how tired I am. Yeah, but no complaints, whether you're tired or you've got headache or anything along the line, preparing to get onto a bus and to the airport and head to Waikansei. No excuses. So it was a very good game, Michi. Very interesting. And yeah, I'm threatening mating one. Thanks everyone in the chat for pointing it out. Oh my. Never trust the opponent. Yeah, thanks Michi. So my combination was correct because of the mate on g2, not because of c takes b3. Very well played. Congratulations, Michi. And I think I have time for one more game. So let's see who is my last opponent of today. Let's mix things up. And I'm gonna play with... By the way, today all my games with the black pieces, is that true? Mr. C, nice to see you. From India. Nice to meet you, Mr. C. Why I'm playing black in every game? Since I have black in every game, I pushed e6 in every game. I don't know if you realized, but today I played e6 on every first move. Whether it was d4 or e4, always e6. I don't do that all the time. But today I thought, why not? So the King's Indian attack. Last time I had a good game in this variation, and before that, a couple of sessions before that, I had a disastrous game in this variation. So ups and downs. And I told you guys that I like this variation with the two knights. And now you can either push e5 immediately or take on e4 and then e5. So it transposes into some kind of a weird e4, e5 opening, at least it looks like. It's not very normal because you would want to have the bishop on c4 like in an Italian, not on g2. So that's the whole point of black's play. c3 is a good move here, for instance, for white to take control of the d4 square, threaten b4. h3 is also possible, and maybe later even g4. I think for me it's natural to place the queen on e7, bring the rook to d8, the bishop to e6, probably. Sometimes even b6, bishop a6, depends. Yeah, I don't want to allow b4. So c3 controls the d4 square and also prepares queen to c2. Let's expand further on the queen side. And it also prevents knight b3, so next move I can go even b6, bishop to a6. That's a good knight maneuver, going toward the e3 square, but it won't be so easy to play it if the e4 pawn is hanging. I can play rook d8, but then queen c2 anyway. Knight e3. No, probably I should. And then the bishop to e6. Maybe I shouldn't complicate this too much. Bishop to e3 or knight to e3. Those are the two options. Also, well, bishop g5 or knight to g5, but I would certainly first look at bishop e3 probably, just to develop that bishop as well. If I take on e3, knight takes e3, and then knight f5. Mr. C is thinking, because there are plenty of good options here. This is just a complex position, so that's why I like it. Now I will have to give him my bishop, unless, yeah, why not? Let's go to c4 and then to d3. So if knight d3, bishop d3, and later I will probably want to prevent knight f5 by playing g6, because I don't want to have the two knights on g5 and f5. That would look scary. Who would you pick in this position, white or black? Yeah, Ocean Racer. Cool that you also like the e5 setup against the King's Indian attack. I also think the same, that with the bishop on g2. Oh, I should hurry up with the bishop on g2. But wait, queen d1 is a blunder, I believe, because I can play bishop takes e4. The queen is hanging and I've just taken a pawn on e4. He can give up the queen for a rook and a piece. But I guess this was not his idea. Now bishop d3 or take? I'll take to simplify. Maybe bishop d3 was even stronger, but I thought that I'm already a pawn up. And that bishop was also strong. Now, let's think for a moment. Let's chase this knight away, because I don't like the fact that it's there on g5. If knight f3, do I want to go e4? Knight d2, attacking my pawn. Knight to e4. Then I will take. Queen to f6 or queen to e6. Both look tempting. So I'm a pawn up. Of course, it's not completely winning for black. I still need to play well, and my e5 pawn could be a target. I mean, it's already a target, but it could be vulnerable. So for that reason, I'm gonna keep this bishop. It's not the most natural. The most natural would have been to take on e3, but then after knight takes e3, he would threaten knight g4, and my pawn on e5 is very weak. By keeping the bishop, at least I have strengthened my central pawn. An interesting rook lift could be rook a5 and then coming to d5 if I could in the future. Heading toward f5. That's interesting. Once the knight comes to f5, I can still play bishop f8 there and g6. And maybe I could have played bishop f8 immediately. Yeah, let's go there. It's passive, but later, if I have the h6 pawn protected with another piece, ideally I would have like king h7, g6. It's illegal because of the queen on e4. But I would love to chase the knight away by playing g6. If I can't chase it away, then maybe I can just ignore it for the moment and do what I was mentioning, that this rook, the a8 rook that was not doing a thing, now can finally be activated. If I play rook a to d5, my a4 pawn will not be protected, so this is still not like a perfect setup for me. And yeah, rook d1 points out that it's not that ideal at the moment. I will push a3 and see what he does with the queenside pawns. And that also means that my a4 pawn will not be hanging. Will he push b4? That looks like an active and strong move. How shall I do this? The problem is, yeah, this rook a5 was not working in the end because I would have needed my queen on e6 to be able to bring it to d5. And I thought that with the rook on a5, if I had played queen e6 there, he could have taken on d8, knight takes d8 and rook to d1. I don't want him to be in control of the d file. I want to fight for the d file. That's why I have brought the rook back. Sometimes you need to do moves like, sometimes you need to play moves like that. Just admit that wasn't the best move, your previous move, and then correct it. Instead of trying to justify why your move is so good, just admit that it wasn't the best, and then you can retreat with that piece, correct your move, and just as if nothing happened. Okay, he's threatening to take on h6. Important. But now I will go king h7, and if he goes back to e4, g6. This is what I wanted, chase the knight away. g6. I want to play g6. I'm up on time. That's great. I have more. Whoa, well, that's tricky. I can't take it, of course, because of queen g7. G6 is my first move. That's the first move that comes to mind, and I'm gonna go for it. If it takes on f8, I will take back. I don't think this will work because I will take with the bishop. It was interesting, certainly, but it doesn't work, this sacrifice. I just have too many pieces defending my king. It's always a good idea to offer a trade of queens when you are defending your king, and now I'm even material up, so 2 reasons to trade queens: to save your king, to make it stronger. So if your king is under attack, always try to trade queens, that's obvious. And if you're material up, the same thing. It was a very interesting game. Mr. C, thank you for the game. I think up until here, like, you were compensating very well for the pawn, and even this position shouldn't be, I mean, I like black's position, of course. I'm a pawn up, and if you go queen e4, I will play g6, so the knight has to leave, and then even f5, maybe. Depends. Maybe I shouldn't go that quick, but this position is already very nice for black, but you were fighting very well. So I don't think there was a concrete way to, like, do something as white. You did a good job activating your pieces and creating threats. I think, considering that you were a pawn down, you fought very well. Maybe the only mistake in the whole game from your side was allowing bishop takes e4. So in this position, oh, but you don't have another square. Geez, I didn't realize. So knight e3 is the mistake, not queen d1. After bishop d3, you don't have another square. Queen d2, same idea, bishop takes e4. That means that knight e3, even if it looks like a very tempting move, attacking the bishop, was a mistake, Mr. C. That was, I think, the only mistake in the game. So very well played game. 1 mistake in 40 moves. How many moves we played? Almost 40. Well done, Mr. C. And thanks everyone for the games today. I think it was a fun session. There were ups and downs, both from my side and from my opponent's side. Shout out to all my opponents, and in particular, I want to say special thanks to Anna for playing against me, Anna 2004. I love seeing other female players around, so if you are another female player watching my show, challenge me, because I love seeing fellow female players here competing and simply enjoying a game of chess. I just want as many girls and ladies to play chess because I think it's a beautiful game and there should be more ladies in chess tournaments. So thanks Anna, and thanks everyone else for being here, whether you played or you just watched the show. It's been my pleasure to stream for you today, and I will be back next week. Stay tuned for the announcements because the day will be changed, so it should be another day, but stay tuned, it will be announced on Chess24. And tomorrow, if you are in Vaikanze, say hi to me. I will be there. And on Sunday, both Sopiko and me will be at the Teta Steel Chess Tournament supporting Mr. Tactics and of course every other player as well. There are plenty of them that are friends of ours, and yeah, I just want them to play as many great games as they can, inspire us to improve our chess as well. See you guys next week and enjoy the broadcast of the Teta Steel Chess Tournament. Bye bye.